Hi, Chelsea Gilson here, and welcome to my skinny kitchen. Today I'm going to show you one of the best slim down recipes that I have. So when you think get skinny, like the things that I normally think of is, fennel's really good for digestion, ginger is really good for digestion, apple cider vinegar is great for it, and then cayenne, of course, lemon, just like you get in the Master Cleanse. And then you just think vegetables, right? You're supposed to eat your fruits and vegetables. Well, we're trying to cut sugar, and we're not trying to cut vegetables. So what we're going to do is marry those things, so the things that you think of when you think of dieting, with vegetables in a stew. And this isn't a science by any means. That's the beauty of using a crock-pot, is everything can go in it that you like, and you can leave out things that you particularly don't like. Okay, so for my dish, what I'm going to start out with is low sodium chicken broth. Obviously, if you're vegan, you can use vegetable broth instead. I'm going to use the chicken broth because it does deliver a lot of extra nutrients in it. And I use the low sodium, we obviously don't want the extra sugar. So I'm going to put in probably, not too much, maybe like a cup and a half of this. Perfect. And then next I am going to pour in just a little bit of white wine. Again, if you don't have any, it doesn't really matter. Like a fourth cup, I just think it adds a nice flavor. And it kind of helps, these two kind of help to cut out the bitterness of apple cider vinegar. So this is really a miracle hack, and I'll talk about this in length in another video. But apple cider vinegar is great for your diet. It's good for your skin. It's good for your entire body. But it's a great skinny hack to help you stay on track and really drop the weight. So I put in probably, I'll put in a little bit more, maybe four tablespoons. So like a fourth a cup actually is fine for the apple cider vinegar. Again, it has a really strong flavor. So if you're not used to it, maybe even do a little bit less. Alright, and then I'm going to put in the vegetables, and then we'll fill the rest of the crock pot up with water to see how much we have. So, first I'm going to go with the fennel. So fennel is crazy vegetable, or crazy, it's not a vegetable at all, but it's crazy and it works well, really brings up flavor. It has a really sweet, nice flavor to it. Again, it's a little bit unique, so if you've never experimented with it, I suggest just using a little bit. The way that I'm going to do this for this stew is I'm just going to kind of like peel off this first layer a little bit that looks like it has some stuff on it. And then I'm just going to cut into it a nice couple of chunks. So I'll actually just turn it on its side like this. Yeah. And cut myself a couple nice pieces. And I want to cut it pretty small. I definitely, this is a good size for fennel. You don't want to get huge pieces in there because it is such a strong flavor. But it's going to be nice if it's going to simmer overnight with the rest of the vegetables. I can smell it right now. It smells really sweet and delicious. This is really nice to have some fresh fennel like this. I love fennel, so I'll probably end up putting like half of one of these giant bulbs in. Again, if you've never used fennel before, I would say, I don't know, maybe like a fourth cup of the fennel. It's just so good for you and really helps with digestion and cleaning out your system. It's kind of a natural cleanser for your body, so. It has a licorice scent to it, like a sweet licorice, black licorice scent. Okay, great. Now for our other get skinny quick ingredients. I am going to put in some fresh ginger. I have my ginger right here. And I'm just going to peel back or cut back a little bit of the skin on this ginger. And cut off a nice fresh piece so I have a nice edge. And I'm actually just going to grate the ginger in with just a regular hand grater. And the ginger smells incredible. Again, I'm somebody who really loves ginger and loves all the health benefits from it, so I'll probably put a little bit more. But if you're new to ginger and you're not really used to the flavor, I'd say about a teaspoon works for the ginger. And using ground ginger is fine, of course, but the you can't beat it like this. I mean, you really can't. It's one of those spices or one of those roots that it needs to, it's the best when it's in its natural form. All right, and then my lemon. I've got a pretty small lemon here. I'm going to squeeze the whole thing in. I'll get rid of the seeds first. And lemon's another great one. It really detoxifies the body. So what we're going to do with this stew is we're going to let this sit overnight. So it's about 7 p.m. right now. I'll let it sit until 7 a.m. tomorrow, just on low heat in the crock pot. And then I'm going to eat this for 2 days, maybe 3 days, to seeing how I feel. Just this soup. And it's kind of like just a natural, easy way to cleanse. You're not going to be starving because we're going to put vegetables in it for you. But it's a nice way to just really detox your body and give some love back to your organs that work really hard to process all the processed foods that we keep putting in them, that they are not meant to process Oreos and whatever else you've been eating. Now it's the holidays, so they're not meant to process any of those sweets that we're putting in our bodies. Great. And then, I know, I'm sure you guys probably have heard the miracle of garlic as well. And this stew actually works as a really good, I'm actually just going to take a full garlic clove and just use the peeler to get it in there. But I'm sure that you've heard about how great garlic is, obviously for clearing up sinuses and cleansing out your system. There's so many great health benefits to it, and cooking it in a stew, in a pot like this, really helps to, marry the flavor. So even if you do add more garlic, it's not going to be as overpowering as raw garlic would be, or even garlic that's just sauteed would be. Okay, great. And then for the rest of my add-ins, for things that are actually on my skinny list and things that I recommend in putting in this detox stew, I'm going to add some cayenne pepper. So for the cayenne pepper, I like to use organic I like to use organic for everything if I can, but especially for my spices, I think that it's important, and they usually don't cost too much more. So I'm going to put in this is half of a tablespoon, so maybe a little bit under a teaspoon of cayenne pepper right in there to give it some kick. And now's the easy part. You can put in whatever vegetables that you have. So I already have some sweet potato that I cooked and cut up. So I'm going to put that in. There's some squash, I think, in there too. Yep, some big pieces of squash. And then I have some frozen spinach. I love frozen vegetables. I always use them. I think it's a great way to save money by using frozen vegetables instead of fresh ones. And then there's no bacteria on them. They're not sitting and being handled by a ton of people, They're just flash frozen right after they're picked. So you still get all the nutrients. And I'm going to put in a bunch of spinach because I love the green stuff. And this stew is going to be a vitamin powerhouse when we're done with it. So that's about a cup of spinach. I'll wash my hands off. And then I've got some carrots here that I'll chop up into little pieces and put in. And some celery and onion. But you really can put any vegetables that you like in. If I had broccoli or something like that, I would definitely throw some of that in. I think potatoes and sweet potatoes are great because they really keep you full with all of the fiber. But using the skin of the vegetables will also help to keep you full too, because all of these vegetables do have, a lot of fiber and nutrients in them. All right, so carrots in, a little bit of onion. I'll probably end up putting in like half of a medium-sized white onion in here, just because the onion flavor again is really nice with everything. Some celery. Celery gives it that nice smell while it's cooking, but it also makes it feel like a comfort food to me for some reason. There's something about celery that always reminds me of like my mom's kitchen and my mom cooking. So I'll put in some celery, and then I'm gonna fill the rest up with water all the way up to the top. Zucchini and summer squash are also really great in here. Asparagus is great. Anything that you have is going to be good. There's no vegetable that can't go in. And that goes with spices too if you want to add basil or oregano or anything like that. They're all great. They all add health benefits. And they're not going to do anything but enhance the flavor to something that you'll like and you're going to enjoy for the next couple days while you get skinny. So lid on. We'll cook this overnight. And we'll be skinny in a couple days. Thanks for watching.